our next session. And I can see our panelists have also already joined in. Hello, doctors, and thank you for joining us today. I will take us through the introduction to the session. So our current session is on immunity and COVID-19. What's the deal? Integrative medicine, immunity, and COVID-19. In this current scenario, the priority of individuals and societies is to stay safe and healthy. This has led to a spike in demand for sanitizers and disinfectants, which protect against contracting COVID-19 from external sources. Alongside, we also see a renewed interest in immunity boosting supplements and medicines, which strengthen the immune system from within. Many traditional healing therapies have garnered interest because of their immunity boosting properties. Ayurveda, yoga, naturopathy, meditation, Chinese traditional medicines, and a few home remedies have also piqued the interest of researchers. Since the beginning of the pandemic, scientists have been emphasizing on the importance of building up immunity so that your body is capable to fight off invading pathogens. India is home of Ayurveda, an ancient healing therapy that is known to heal diseases by boosting immunity. Today, scientists from the US are collaborating with India's researchers to see if Ayurveda can help in this fight against COVID-19. The Ayush Ministry also issued guidelines on the use of Ayurveda as a preventive measure. Similarly, there are other holistic healing therapies that may be able to contribute to this battle. In this session today, we take a look at integrative medicine immunity and COVID-19. Joining us in this session are experts from the field of integrative or alternative therapies and holistic treatment. They will speak on a range of issues, including the best ways to boost immunity naturally, the role of Ayush Ministry in the current pandemic, the importance of alternative therapies, and much more. So with that, let me introduce my illustrious panelists. First, we have Dr. Isaac Mathai, though he needs no introduction. Dr. Mathai is a holistic physician, chairman, managing and medical director, Sokya International, Bengaluru. He is also visiting consultant in several holistic health centers across Europe and USA, and the CMD of Sahai Holistic Integrative Hospital, which caters to the masses. With the client list ranging from the Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla, Archbishop Desmond, Tina Turner, and George Harrison, among others, he is an authority in the field of integrative medicine. Dr. Mathai is also a member of the Ayush Task Force created for COVID-19. Dr. Mathai, welcome today for this health summit. We also have with us Dr. Pratap Chauhan. Dr. Chauhan is a veteran in the field of Ayurveda treatment. In addition to being the founding director of Jiva Ayurveda, he serves as the chairman of the International Cell of All Indian Medicine Graduate Association. Dr. Chauhan is a visiting professor at Ayurveda Gurukul, Japan, Ayurveda Academy, and a host of international universities. A lifetime Ashoka Fellow and an author, he has written best-selling books like Eternal Health and Eternal Beauty. Under his stewardship, Jiva Ayurveda, with more than 500 Ayurvedic doctors and support professionals, is providing widespread telephonic consultations to patients across 1,800 cities and towns in India during the pandemic. Also, Dr. Chauhan, welcome to the Health Summit.
Namaskar. Thank you, Ji. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Also on the panel we have today Mr. Arvind Varshasvi, a distinguished industrialist and a passionate entrepreneur. Mr. Varshasvi is the managing director of Sri Sri Tattva. He also serves as the group advisor, International Affairs of Ayush Advisory Group, and co-chairs the Ayush Committee of Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Apart from these, he wears many other hats. He is the board member in National Medicinal Plant Board of India, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, and chairs the Ayush Committee of PhD Chamber of Commerce. He has been honored with the Export Excellence Award known as the Niryat Shiromani Puruskar by the Indian Council for Small and Medium Exporters. So thanks a lot for all of you for being here. Dr. Mathai, I'll head to you for my first question. As a veteran in holistic treatment and integrative medicine, you have observed through years of practice that alternative medicine plays an important role in boosting immunity. So do you think boosting immunity can actually help us in this fight against COVID?
Absolutely, yes. That is why even including our Prime Minister in his national address also mentioned about the things people can do with homeopathic medicine as well as Ayurvedic and Siddha medicines, which is traditionally proved that it is very, very effective for boosting immune system, not only for COVID, in any situation. And all along, Ayurveda or holistic medicine always promoted the concept of this immune boosting concept in any disease conditions. So it is a lot of things can be done in that. Actually, India is lucky to have all the systems, and the government of India and Ayush Ministry is promoting this. So more and more people, I know that as of now, millions of people are using the Ayurvedic as well as homeopathic medicine and Siddha medicine in Tamil Nadu. So it is very, very useful, and we can see positive effect out of this.
Sure, doctor. So also, since you have an interest in, you're like a pioneer in homeopathy medicine in the country, Arsenium album has been distributed as a preventive measure, as you also rightly mentioned. So also in Hyderabad, in Machilipatnam, as part of a clinical trial. So the trial was launched in 11 states. How does this medicine work? How effective is it, and how does it work?
The Central Council of Research and Homeopathy in March itself identified as arsenic alb is an ideal medicine to start to give to boost immune system, especially for this condition, COVID condition, because the symptomatology of the COVID, when we got the report from China, that is very similar to symptomatology of arsenic alb. So we use arsenic alb as an immune boosting medicine, so that if you are exposed to virus also, your system should be able to fight it out. That's what we are talking in generally in the medical world, that even 99% of the people, even if they exposed to virus, they should not develop a disease because your immune system take care of it. So arsenic alb is identified and distributed, announced by the government in the Ministry of Ayush, and distributed for millions of people. In Gujarat, it is given for, government itself is given for 75 lakhs, in Kerala given for at least about 50 to 70 lakhs people. My personally in our practice in distributed this in India itself more than 35,000 people. So now in the 3 months, we are also seeking for reports from the from those who are taking the medicine that anybody is, even if they exposed to the virus, whether they are developing or not. So now it is showing that this medicine is very effective in not only preventing in a general masses, but recently in Kerala, one municipality in one particular location, there is 2 people are positive and they're isolated others and given arsenic alb, and after 2 weeks we checked everybody, none of them developed any COVID positive. So it is showing everywhere. There are some research is also going on this. So it is a positive thing. Along arsenic alb and along with arsenic alb, other natural methodology of food and drinks, that is also add on to it.
So also, doctor, are there any guidelines for taking this medicine, or as a layman, can I buy it right off the chemist shelf and take it, or does this have to be under prescription?
The recommendation is arsenic 30. The potency 30. Either you take as a pills, 4 pills every morning for 7 days. And this is a recommendation from the government, from the Ayush. And if this virus is going around in the same location for more than 1 month, I am recommending them to take again the second month for 7 days. Like that, you can take it every month for 3 or 4 months. And this is a recommendation, and anybody can buy. Homeopathic medicines are not a prescription medicine, so anybody can go and buy it from a homeopathic pharmacy. In case they are getting it in a drop format, they can take it 2 drops as a dose at a time, like 7 days. And the small children, you can because it's coming in alcoholic solution, we can mix it with a little 1 spoon of water and give it 1 drop in 1 spoon of water. Otherwise, the pills you can give it Even a 1 day old baby, you can give it 2 pills. Anybody about 10 years old, you can give 4 pills for 7 days.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. That's a very, very useful tips. I hope my viewers have noted that, the dosage. I next come to you, Mr. Arvind. It is obvious that that our immune systems will need to adapt unaided to COVID-19 until a potential vaccine is available. However, one of the ways that even our government is stressing on is the possible role of Ayurveda in the treatment of COVID through psycho-neuroimmune pathways. So Sri Sri Tattva is a global leader in FMCG health and wellness with years of research in Ayurveda. If you could explain, how does Ayurveda combine with scientific technology is a holistic approach towards boosting immunity, especially now more than ever?
So, Ms. Pooja Sethi, thank you very much for having me here. Dr. Aslak Mathai and also Dr. Pratap, it's a pleasure to meet both of you here again. So, Ms. Pooja Sethi, as what you rightly mentioned, Sri Sri Tattva, when it was born by the inspiration of Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, we definitely had this particular foundation principle in mind that we're definitely going to take Ayurveda the scientific route, because it has a lot of science behind it. It's perhaps the only science of medicine that has withstood, the annals of history. It's a more than 5,000-year-old science, and it's extremely relevant even today. Ayurveda has championed this particular aspect of dinacharya. It means that, what is it that what you need to do during the day to ensure that your health is taken care of. So this was perhaps the only medicinal science that attended to both physical well-being and also mental well-being. So yoga and meditation and also Ayurveda, all three of them go together hand in hand. So when it comes to the aspect of immunity building, Sri Sri Tattva over the last couple of years has really championed the cause of immunity. So even during the COVID times, what we ensured is that our immunity boosting combo kit is also put up for clinical trials. We have multiple clinical trials that are going across, whether it's with regards to our Shakti drops or whether it's with regards to our Amrit or Giloy tablets or turmeric. So there are a whole list of clinical trials that what Sri Sri Tattva has already engaged to ensure and to not necessarily prove to the world, but also to re-educate the world that Ayurveda even in today's time is extremely relevant, and it is a medicinal science. Now, when it comes to the aspect of it being relevant in anybody's life, if you were to understand today, there has been no vaccine, as what you rightly mentioned. So the only way to ensure that we are COVID-free is to keep our health up, our immunity base up. And there are a lot of herbs that Ayurveda has researched over the years that would actually be a customized a medicine for you. So, for example, what might be a great as, a health product for you would be different from me, would be different from what it would be to, Dr. Pratap Chauhan here. So that's the level to which that what Ayurveda has gone across. And it also tells you that what medicine is good for your body type in which season also. So taking these principles across, there are also certain medicines that are also there as a fundamental to ensure that immunity can be kept up. And these are the products that what Sri Sri Tattva has already been championing. And we have these products across in 54 countries to date. And apart from that, we find it really relevant that apart from India, all other countries across the world have really recognized that the relevance of Ayurveda in these tough times is more than ever. So even like a country like Argentina to date, we are perhaps the first organization to also get the ANMAT GMP for Ayurveda. So you can imagine all across the globe, there are people still waiting and wanting Ayurveda as a part of their life. So very, very relevant science in today's state. Thank you.
Mr. Arvind, I have another question for you. You have recently ramped up your production of Ayurveda immunity boosters. So what does the range comprise of, and what has been our customer response so far globally?
Yes, so a very valid question, Pooja. So yes, we had to ramp up our production a lot, because the sort of interest that what we got, especially during and a little bit the post-COVID time, in case if I could say that right now, is that people are really realizing that to keep their immunity up is so important. And the products that what I mentioned before, be it Shakti drops or our Tulsi Arka, our Amrut tablets, our turmeric plus. So what we did is that we also researched this part that turmeric is absorbed much better with an addition of pepper in it. So we ensured that we brought this particular product out, and we are really seeing a lot of interest for these products, not only in India but also internationally. And why is this right now is because people are seeing that a little bit of lifestyle change, not only with regards to a medicine, but also some ingredients that what our body would take on a daily basis really makes such a big difference. And that's why we also championed the aspect of Dinacharya through our Ayurveda doctors all across the globe. So we also have these sessions for people where we educate that what's good for your body type, what exactly are the products that what you would need to eat during a normal course of life. So to ensure that you keep your health up, you keep your immunity up. So not only with regards to going to the aspect of a symptomatic sort of a cure, but also going to the root cause, saying that what is it I eat? Do I eat healthy? So whatever that I eat also becomes a part of my body. There's a great saying in Sanskrit and also Hindi saying, Jaise an vaise man. So my body becomes, and also my mind becomes what I eat. So, and also when do I eat? So all these things, Ayurveda really brings across a beautiful system that what we've been educating through our doctors, also across to people to the world. So with regards to lifestyle changes and also our immunity building kit, both went hand in hand. And that's where we really found that people are changing their lifestyles. People are getting more into yoga, more into meditation. This much I must tell you, during the lockdown days, more than 4 million people came and meditated with Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar every day. And this really showcased that how India and also what India has been really giving across to the world, whether it's with regards to yoga, meditation, or Ayurveda, is so relevant. So one thing is that you take care of your mental health, but also on the physical health, that's where Ayurveda and the immunity boosting kit really did a very, very great job for people across the globe. And we're really seeing that this particular interest is only multiplying right now and growing. And Ayurveda as a system of medicine. One more thing that what I wanted to mention to you is that across the world, people are taking Ayush and also Ayurveda as a system of medicine. So here, Sri Sri Tattva is also ensuring that the messaging that what we bring across to people is that Ayurveda and the Ayush systems are not an alternative system of medicine, but another system of medicine. In today's world, customer is king. And so we need to leave the customer on the consumer to decide which system of medicine do they actually want to imbibe in their life. So when it comes to accidental care or critical care, there's nothing to beat allopathy. But when it comes to lifestyle disorders and also answers that perhaps allopathy does not have, Ayurveda and the Ayush systems definitely do. So very, very relevant science to be here in today's day. Thank you.
So definitely, and thanks for reminding me of those wonderful online sessions that Gurudev took. So they were really, really wonderful. And also, I'll ask you the same question that I asked Dr. Mathai. Are these over-the-counter immunity boosting medicines that we can pick up?
Yes. So the kit that what or the combo that what I mentioned to you right now with regards to Shakti drops, Amrut, Turmeric Plus, and also Tulsi Arka, all these things are over-the-counter medicines. But definitely, we also ensure that anything with regards to an ailment that what people have, you definitely consult your doctor and take them across. But all these products that what I mentioned to you are available on our website and also our app, srisritattva.com. And everybody are happy to make it as a part of their lives.
Sure. Thank you, Arvind. Let me now over to Dr. Pratap Chauhan. Dr. Chauhan, thank you for being patient with me and waiting. So the basic principle of Ayurveda is healing the body from inside instead of treating the condition. Does this principle work for COVID-19 as well?
Well, thank you, Pooja, for inviting me to this panel. And I was not really getting some impatient or something. I was listening to two great people. They were giving some wonderful information about homeopathy and Ayurveda. Yeah, regarding the COVID-19, as you're asking that what Ayurveda can offer, in Ayurveda, in Charak Samhita, there is a chapter that is called Janapadodvans. This chapter describes about epidemics and pandemics. So it's not that this is something new for Ayurveda. Of course, this is a new disease. This is a new virus. A lot of things we are finding out about it. But when it comes to the core principle, how do we, take up to pandemics or epidemics? There have been a very detailed description given in our Charak Samhita, where they have described about how the pandemics are caused, what are the root causes of various types of epidemics and pandemics, what are the protocols for preventing, what are the protocol for, when the spread is there, what kind of sanitization is needed, what kind of, disinfectants are to be used. There's a huge description about that. And when it comes to particular treatments, let's say, for example, this particular disease, in Ayurveda, we all know that we go to the root cause. We try to understand the root cause of the problem. And when we talk of root cause, of course, this is a kind of a communicable disease, and the root cause, as described in Ayurveda, is very much in the pollution of air, pollution of water, there is pollution of soil. And if you really go further down, they have described a very beautiful word that the root cause for all this is adharma. Adharma literally here means that when we do not follow basic principles of living. For example, like Arvind ji was just mentioning about a very simple program called Dinacharya. Dinacharya is a very core program that, in very much harmony with this human construction or human system. So if we do not follow Dinacharya, that is also adharma. Or if we are not eating according to our prakriti, that is also adharma. So this is how, in Ayurveda, they have described the basic protocols. How do we work with the pandemics? And there are various types of treatment protocols also. The first one, of course, dealing with the disease, and then how to build the immunity, then how to build the herd immunity. They have described all these things in quite deep details. And that is why I think now, even today, our Ayush ministry is very active. They have, formed many different types of teams. Task force are there, and a lot of clinical trials are going. And I'm very confident that very soon we are going to hear something very positive that will be not only helpful for Indian population, but for the whole world.
So Dr. Chauhan, also you said most of it is happening because we're not following the daily dincharya. Also, according to the Ayurvedic school of thought, which doshas are responsible for this kind of infection? Could you be able to guide us about the different doshas and their association with inflammatory conditions which happened during COVID?
Yeah, so, as I said, this is a very new disease. Very little is known about this disease. Of course, now it's already been almost more than 6 months. So there is a huge data collected. There's a lot of research programs going on. So if we look at the symptoms, and if we look at the adhisthana means the location of the disease. So it's the respiratory system where it is primarily located. According to Ayurveda, this is the place of kapha dosha. So we will say kapha definitely is a prime dosha involved in the manifestation of this disease. And then when the infection sets in, the next we see is there are symptoms like you lose your smell, you lose your taste, and there is dryness in the throat. All these different types of symptoms are the vata pradhan, the symptoms. Because vata is responsible for any kind of neurotransmission. Vata causes dryness. So then the vata comes in role. So we can say it's a vata kapha disease in the first and the middle part. And then as it progresses, when you talk about the inflammation and when it goes into the lungs, so then the pitta comes in, the inflammation and all the fever and all different kind of symptoms. So I would say it starts with the kapha, and then overall all the three doshas get imbalance. And that's why it is not a simple disease, because the tridoshik diseases are difficult to treat. But of course, if we really understand the Ayurvedic philosophy, the Ayurvedic, protocols of treatment, even for triadosic disease, even for disease which are so-called incurable diseases as per modern medicine, in Ayurveda there are very nice protocols, especially like in Jiva. We are very much particular about dealing with a lot of chronic diseases, lot of disease which are termed, named as incurable disease. So we use protocols based on the Ayurvedic Shastras, and then even today you see the corona cases also in many Ayurvedic hospitals. There are amazing results that have come. I've been involved in the NCR area, in the Delhi area, and there are quite a few Ayurvedic hospitals where we have gotten wonderful results just with Ayurvedic treatments, and these were all the positive cases. Of course, there are still, we are documenting all these various types of, observations and things, and very soon, as I said, through the ministry, things will be made public and they will be published in journals also.
Thank you, Dr. Chauhan. This is really, encouraging to know that people are getting cured using these Ayurvedic medicines and treatments. Dr. Mathai, I come to you next. So recent research by MIT scientists suggests that yoga and meditation will be quite useful in the treatment of COVID, thanks to the inflammatory effect. What is your take on this?
It is wonderful that such institutions are doing research in yoga and meditation, but in the Harvard University for the last 30-40 years is doing studies in meditation and yoga. It's now globally accepted that yoga is not only a spiritual tool, it's a health tool, and people are using it for improving their immune system, improving their lung capacity. Several of the patients, those who are positive with the COVID, even internationally and India, one of the first thing along with homeopathic medicine, which I recommended, is using breathing technique. When you do pranayama and other breathing technique, that will improve your lung capacity, even if you have never done yoga before during this COVID. I would say that this COVID, we shouldn't do this just because of COVID or one other diseases or fear of diseases. Instead of that, we should take yoga and meditation as a part of the lifestyle. The earlier also we are talking in Ayurveda, talking all about Dinacharya or the seasonal practices. So people should take it up. The research in MIT and other places will add on. India also, and the universities are doing a lot of research. So this is our asset, and India has given this gift to the world, and we have Yoga Day and all that. So I am very thrilled that the relevance of yoga and breathing is also came up very big along with Ayurveda and homeopathy and Siddha and other systems. And my take is integration of different systems of medicine, lifestyle practices. That is the future of medicine, rather than only inventing new remedies or medicines only for new diseases. We have to focus more on health rather than diseases. Again, COVID again proving that same point to us, that we have to focus on our immune system, improvement of our health, rather than looking only for diseases and inventing new medicines.
That's so aptly put, Doctor, that yes, we have to take care of our overall health and change our lifestyles. Also, can naturopathy play an important role in battling COVID-19 infection? How do the various elements, I mean, all you panelists have been talking about the Dinacharya and lifestyle. So how do the various elements of nature impact our health and well-being? And if you could explain this in the COVID context.
The naturopathic treatment, yoga and meditation is a part of the naturopathy, but otherwise you are looking at the general naturopathic treatment. All the treatments are focusing on improving their immunity as well as detoxification. A lot of naturopathic treatment with intestinal detoxification, your rejuvenation of your system. This is all making your system in a better shape. And what we notice is even with the naturopathic treatment, Ayurveda and homeopathy is all proved that it's very good for inflammation and inflammatory diseases. Even with the simple naturopathic water therapies and detoxification by intestinal and liver detoxification, you can see that inflammatory markers are coming down. So it is not only a simple treatment, it all have deep impact. So naturopathy is equally important in whether it's a disease condition or inflammatory condition, and even the COVID cases. We are incorporating, along with Ayurveda and homeopathic medicine, we are incorporating the naturopathic treatment and yoga, therapeutic yoga. So this combination of integration is the answer.
Sure, Doctor. So totally get that. We have to look at a holistic health approach towards a holistic health. Also, I'll come back to you, Mr. Arvind. So you said you've already started conducting clinical trials on these herbal immunity boosters. So what has been the efficacy and are the results out yet?
So Pooja, the trials are on. We have multiple trials going on. We have we have two here happening here in Bangalore itself. One at the Bangalore Medical College and Research Hospital, and also at Narayana Hridayalaya. So as soon as the reports come in, everybody would be the first to know. But yes, as what Dr. Chauhan also was mentioning, that there are many trials that what people are doing across, and in Bangalore we are doing these two. Our medicines are also being shortlisted by the Frankfurt Innovation Center for Biotechnology in Frankfurt. We also have other researches happening in the US as well, with more biotechnological institutes over there. So and apart from this, we are also seeing that how we also do more and more clinical trials, not only with Ayurveda but also with the Siddha system of medicine. So here in Bangalore with Narayana Hridayalaya, we are doing with both Ayurveda and also Siddha medicine together. And we are also starting that off very soon. So we are seeing that how we could bring the best of healthcare that what India has to offer. One particular thing that what we need to understand is that the healthcare system that what India has contributed across to the world, like what Mr. Mathai and also Mr. Chauhan mentioned, saying that this is the only system of medicine that takes across your body and also your mind together. Mr. Mathai also mentioned that there's a lot of research happening on yoga and meditation in MIT and Harvard. I'm very happy to note and mention to you that these universities recognize yoga and meditation to the extent that today, if you were to do an Art of Living program there in Harvard or an MIT, you would actually get credits for that. So that's how serious people are taking across mental health. And mental health is something that what India has certainly championed over the years. We've had, all our sages who've really decoded the real aspect of the mind and also a behavioral pattern that what is becoming a very, very big science to date. So just like this, that, a little bit of breathing techniques and also meditation would help calm both the body and the mind. It's just like this. You breathe better, your body functions better. When your body functions better, it does have an impact on what your thoughts are and also what your mind is. Now, coming across to clinical trials, it's very, very important that we take both Ayurveda, yoga, and meditation also together. So apart from doing clinical research on Ayurveda, we are also seeing that we also do a lot of research on yoga and meditation as well. And it has also shown that how the beta activity in the brain also is impacted and how that also changes positively. And apart from that, seeing that how people are able to really gauge their immune systems much better. So a whole lot of things that what science has been really looking for as answers to a good healthcare, a holistic system of healthcare. I think that's what really India has championed across to the world. And yes, we are having multiple clinical trials happening in India also across the world, and we leave no stone unturned to ensure that Ayurveda really gets its proper place in the world as a system of medicine and not necessarily be called an alternative system of medicine. Messaging is extremely important, and that's something that what we would like to showcase to the world through the Ayurveda systems.
Definitely, we all hope this becomes a way of life. Also, Mr. Arvind, there's another question I have for you. While you said, immunity boosters are a great addition to speed up the immunity boosting process, but what do you recommend for our viewers on how should they incorporate Ayurveda and essential herbs in their daily meal?
Yeah, so this is a very relevant point, Pooja. So what I can, mention across to the viewers is to ensure that they eat healthy and they eat on time. Normally, we eat the healthy things, but not on time. So you need to do the right things at the right time. And that's what really Ayurveda has really cracked over the years, that you eat the right food at the right time. If you were to look at the entire, FMCG range of Sri Sri Tattva, we ensure that we inculcate a whole lot of things that what Ayurveda says. For example, there's a product called black rice. So black rice has been more or less indigenous to India and more towards the northeast of India. This also used to be called... Yeah, so this used to... Yeah, it's black rice. So black rice, that what was more indigenous towards the northeast of the country, but now it's grown more so all across the country, and we are championing this. So this particular rice is also very good for diabetic people. So it has a very low glycemic index, and if I were to have two handful morsels of white rice, just one palmful of black rice would really get my stomach filled. And this is very low on the glycemic index. People who are really rice eaters would really find they have a great alternative. Apart from that, we also champion, organic jaggery. We champion organic brown sugar. We champion rock salt. So all these ingredients per se. So rock salt is also advised for people in case if they have blood pressure. After doctor's advice, they can also have a little bit of pinch of rock salt in their food as well. So all these things are already there in Ayurveda, and also right and timely eating is very, very important. And also the aspect of cow's ghee. So cow's ghee also has a lot of healing properties, and also in our product portfolio we also have the A2 milk cow ghee as well. So these also have great properties that what we've studied upon that are also good for general immunity, and also give the relevant immunity building capability to what your body would require on a daily basis. Because one thing is that with regards to being symptomatic, and the other is attending to the root cause. By attending to the root cause and eating healthy, staying healthy, a lot of diseases can be prevented. And that's what we've really been championing across. And also a little bit of Chyawanprash in your daily aspect of your food would definitely do you good. So this is something, but all this, of course, with your own doctor's advice as well. And you're happy to come and consult a Sri Sri Tattva doctor as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I think tips are really, really valuable. And I, for one, will certainly try and incorporate some of this in my dincharya. Dr. Chauhan, I'm coming back to you now. So recently, PM Modi urged everyone to drink kadha in order to boost the immune system. Even the Ayush minister recommends it. If you could elaborate a bit about this Ayurvedic kadha, what is the composition and how does it help the body?
Okay, the Ayush Kadha really has become very popular to the extent that now you see like so many products in the market, everything is Ayush Kadha. I think, I see some dry tablets, there is some liquid, there is some kind of a decoction, even some kind of a powder is available. It's a very simple formula, of course quite effective, because the ingredients, there is tulsi, which we all know, the holy basil. Tulsi is a very nice herb for various respiratory infections. Also it's good for immunity. And then the next one is our ginger, so, and then black pepper, dalchini. These are main 4 ingredients. If you want to just make a 1 cup of this kadha, you can put in fresh 4 tulsi leaves, 2 pieces of black pepper, a little piece of fresh ginger. You can crush it, and a pinch of dalchini or cinnamon powder. You can boil it for a few minutes. Let the water be reduced to half. And if you want to make it little sweet, you can add some jaggery or gur, or even a few pieces of munakka raisins you can add. So this is quite effective kadha, which is becoming very popular now, not only in India now, but all over the world. But let me just give a very important point here, because now when the kadha was announced, it was January, January, February sometime, when it was cold in India. It was winter time, and then it was springtime, of course, after that, which is a period for kapha aggravation. But let's not be very much, let's be very aware that now we are in the actually rainy season. Already the summer has passed. So all the ingredients here are quite heating. So some people, they are complaining that when they drink this kadha, because some people drink a lot. So you have to drink it twice, and only the quantity should be around like not more than 50 milliliter at a time. But if you still feel that it's heating, it's causing acidity, or some people even get some kind of skin problems, so I will suggest add some fennel, 1 teaspoon of fennel, which is saunf, or a little bit of licorice powder you can add. Both these things will not hinder the benefit of the kadha, but they will make it, balance. So this is how in Ayurveda we always try to come up with some concoction that is suitable for you. And of course, we always suggest, even if it is kara, even if it is any formula, you're supposed to consult an Ayurvedic doctor, because in Ayurveda even immunity is personalized. We're all different prakriti. Somebody is pitta prakriti, somebody is kapha prakriti. So it's always good. And as I think you're all aware that we run the world's largest Ayurvedic telemedicine facility, not only in COVID, but for last 15 years. We are doing around 8,000 to 9,000 consultations every day with a team of more than 350 Ayurvedic doctors. So anybody is welcome to call before you have any doubts. Don't take things which can damage your system or which can hurt you, but you should always consult an Ayurvedic doctor and maybe get things which are better for your prakriti.
So thank you, Dr. Chauhan, for this. Dr. Mathai, so we recently got to know that Kerala had turned to Ayurveda for boosting people's immunity in the initial phases of the COVID outbreak. Do you think that played an instrumental role in the state's success in combating the virus?
I definitely yes, because Ayurveda is very, very popular in Kerala, and then generally people use it, majority of things, including kara and all that, on a regular basis. And all the ingredients grow in Kerala also. So as a lifestyle, people are using, plus COVID, people are using more of that. Definitely, it has a positive effect in having a positive impact in the COVID situation in Kerala.
Sure. Thank you so much. These were really wonderful insights, and these will really help us and help my viewers to stay on top of this virus and stay healthy. Thanks to all of you for being a part of this. And also I'd like to thank my media partners, Zee News and Zee Media, for this today. So thank you, doctors. Thank you for being with us today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.